Hello out there, welcome once again to Marriage Without Tears channel. This is the ultimate channel for couples that want to make a success of their marriage. For the past 2 weeks, we have been dealing on a subject titled How to Save Your Marriage. How to Save Your Marriage. We did the first part 2 weeks ago, and the second part was done just last week. And of course, the third part and the final part is what is coming today. And I want you to pay ultimate attention. This is Marriage Without Tears channel, like I said, and my name is Felix Okeke. I'm your marriage counselor and coach. Quality marriages, successful marriages are not easy to build. It takes a lot of tenacity, a lot of courage, a lot of determination, a lot of input from both partners to get a marriage working. And I must tell you, it is not easy. And when you find a couple that are finding it difficult to make their marriage work, it does not mean that they are weak in any way. It simply means that they don't have the rudiments, the techniques, the skill to build successful marriage. So this is what we are trying to do on this channel. And as you listen to this very third edition, you'll be richly blessed. Of course, the first edition, we looked at how to dig deep into the remote and immediate causes of whatever is the challenge you are facing in your marriage. I want you to go back to that edition and check it very well. Look through that edition and you will learn a whole lot. And of course, the second one, which was done last week, we looked at the impact of communication, effective communication in marriage, and how communication can either make or break a marriage. And if you work on your communication right now, even as you're going through that challenge, if you work on your communication and you begin to throw out all those derogatory words and you begin to change and you use more compassionate, more kind words onto your spouse, you discover that your marriage will blossom. That is what we did last week. And of course, today, what we are dealing with is how to rebuild the intimacy that was lost. You know, when intimacy is lost, a lot of boredom comes in, and before you know it, that marriage is on danger list. But after tonight, you are going to, have all the things you need to restore that marriage to its full bloom, to the glory of God. Once again, we start from the very first one. What is the first thing you need to do when you want to rebuild your marriage? The very first thing you need to do is to begin to think about the positive side of your marriage, the positive side of your relationship. Whether you like it or not, there were some exciting moments between you and your spouse. There were times when you could not sleep until you see one another. There were times when you go out together, when you face so many exciting moments. What about your wedding day? What about those times when you met for the first time and you cherished one another's company so much that even when your spouse, or when currently is your spouse, when your man or your woman is leaving you, it's like something has left your life. What about those moments? What about those exciting times when you visited friends? What about those times when you went for parties, when you went for seminars? There are so many exciting times. If you have had children, what about the birth of your first child? I don't know about you. I used to think that the day I met my wife was the most exciting moment in my life until I had my first son. Oh my God, I can't imagine how I felt that day. I was on top of the world. I was so happy. There was nothing that can compare to such a joy in my life. Begin to think of such moments. It could be the birth of your daughter. It could be the time you bought your first car. It could be the time you built your first house. There must be times in your relationship that used to be very exciting. Those are things that you have thrown away. Those are things you are no longer thinking about. And you're not beginning to think about the wrong things your partner has done or has not done. So begin to think about the right things. Cultivate the attitude of thinking about the right thought, thinking right thoughts concerning your partner. Begin to think about those right moments, those gracious moments, those wonderful moments. If you begin to think that way, you discover that your marriage, your joy in that relationship will gradually begin to come back. So that's the very first thing you need to do. Begin to do it right now. Throw away all those jargon, throw away all those things, all those unworthy things, those things that make you melancholic. Throw them away. There are some times you have cherished together. Begin to think those things and you see your marriage come back to life. The second thing that you must do, of course, if you want to restore that marriage, if you want to see the beauty of your marriage, you really want to do that. Begin once again to cultivate the habit of kindness, compassion, empathy. I know it may be difficult, especially in these trying times, these trying moments, But I tell you, nothing beats kindness in marriage. Nothing beats compassion. Nothing beats empathic. Sympathizing with that. Crying with that person when he or she is crying, and laughing with that person when he or she is laughing. I remember a young man, one of my brothers, really. He was trying to get the attention of a particular lady, and the lady was, proving very tough. Until the time came, one day he visited that lady, and that lady was fiddling with her phone. And the young man said, "What's wrong with your phone?" He said, I can't make a call with this phone. I'm finding it difficult to make a call with this. I don't know what's wrong with my phone." The young man just demanded for the phone, and he picked the phone and then removed the SIM card in his own phone and took the lady's SIM card from the bad phone and put it inside his own phone and gave the lady his phone. And said, "From now henceforth, this is your phone, begin to use it." The lady said, "Why? How can you do that? Which one are you going to use?" Say, "Don't worry, I'll buy another one. I'll see whether I can get a phone that I can use." And from that moment, I think the relationship changed. That's the woman he's married today. So kindness. There's a kindness you show to a woman that will turn things around. There's a kindness you show to your spouse that will turn things around. Look at your spouse. Maybe his birthday is coming. Somehow he's no longer putting you there because somehow you people have quarreled for a very long time, and somehow the birthday is coming. Give him a surprise package. Make a birthday cake for him. There is something you can do to reignite the fire in that marriage. Begin to look at that. Begin to do it now. Show compassion. Show kindness, extreme kindness. You can do it again. This is what makes marriage work. This is what restores broken marriages. I mean, if you discover a marriage that has been rendered comatose, it is a marriage where kindness have gone through the window, where compassion is no longer there. If you can only show a compassionate side of you, that marriage can still be restored. There's something I usually say: no matter how you think that thing has been lost, it can still be found. Whatever is lost can still be found. That marriage can still be restored to the glory of God. If you can only be patient enough to do some of the things I'm telling you to do, it can still be restored. And once again, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, there's a red button by my side. Click on it and get subscribed immediately and be part of this. And please, as you are watching this, like I said earlier, go to the first edition of this package and the second edition. It will make it, you will get a comprehensive view of what we have been talking about. And of course, what is the next thing you need to do if you must restore that marriage? I want you to, begin from now henceforth to come closer to your spouse. Begin to restore intimacy. Start from the spiritual level. Begin to suggest, possibly, can we pray together? Darling, can we pray together? It has been long since we prayed together. Maybe we have been challenged. Maybe please, can we just pray together? From praying together, you begin to go to services together. You begin to, show more empathy, like I said, in the things that makes her happy. Sometimes buy a book that she treasures. Begin to, show a kind of emotional intimacy and spiritual intimacy at the same time. Don't go into sex yet. When you are able to take care of the other two, sex will come in later. And sex will come naturally. It is something you had done before. But begin like you are courting again. You are courting again. Begin to see that person from a new light. Start courting again. That's the best way I can put it. Start courting again. And as you are doing that, the spiritual fire will come in, the emotional joy, the emotional bonding will come in, and of course the physical bonding will also come in to the glory of God. Begin to do that. Begin to do that. Of course, the fourth thing you can also do to quicken the joy of your marriage and restore that marriage is by developing the habit of going on outings together once again. You can go shopping together. You can go on seminars together. You can go to the beach together. You can visit friends together. You can visit your parents together. Begin to do things. There were things you used to do together before. Begin to do them. Begin to do them. As you do these things, the pressure of that marriage, that pressure that has kept that marriage in pains and all manner of, it will leave by itself. The pressure will simply disappear. Begin to go out together. Begin to go on outings. Begin to enjoy yourself together. If your spouse wants to go to the market, maybe just to do a shopping, why don't you accompany her? If she wants to possibly go to the swimming pool, why don't you accompany him? So these are things you can do. Begin to do those things together again. It has the capacity of relieving the tensions and the pressures of the marriage. And then full joy will be restored. And of course, when you are going out together, sometimes you may not have to go with the children, because the children may stop you guys from doing something you need to do privately. Who says that you cannot make love even inside your car if you so desire it? But when you are always going out with the children, these things may not happen. Spontaneity in love making makes it more exciting. It doesn't have to be on the bed all the time. It doesn't have to be at night all the time. It can be done very early in the morning. It can be done at noontime. There are things you can do to restore the joy of that marriage. If you can only do some of the things I'm mentioning to you today, your marriage will be fully restored to the glory of God. And of course, the fifth and final thing I want to say, even now, from now henceforth, make it a part of your principle to be open and very, very honest with your spouse. Be open and honest. There is nothing that beats honesty and openness. Don't be a mind reader like I always say. Be honest, be truthful. If something wrong has happened, something bad has happened, don't sweep it under the carpet. Say it out. Let it be dealt with straight away. Be truthful with your spouse. Don't begin to hide things. When you begin to hide things, when the truth is discovered, anytime you keep a secret for too long and the truth is discovered, it undermines the best of marriages. But if you can only be truthful enough, if you can only be open enough, if you can only be clear about your likes and dislikes to one another, if you can only let one another into your secret cocoon to know exactly how it hurts you, or how it inspires you, or how it makes you drop, a whole lot of things can be done when you are open. When you are open, don't let your spouse begin to hear the truth from the outside, because when he or she hears the truth from the outside and he or she comes in and confirms that that is the truth, the best of marriages can be undermined. So be truthful with your spouse. It is very, very important indeed. And once a while, as an added bonus, please buy presents for one another. Buy presents for one another. Find a way, something special you can do to make one another happy. If all you desire is to make your spouse happy, if all you desire is to make your spouse wholesome, if all you desire is to give peace to your spouse, if all you desire is for the growth of one another, surely your spouse will increase in value, and the joy of that marriage shall be restored, and even the marriage will begin to blossom to the glory of God. I want you to take some of the things we have said seriously, and honestly, if you do that, I can tell you that the joy of this marriage, you cannot even believe it. It will happen to the glory of God. And once again, please look at that red button, click on it, and get subscribed. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a wonderful season.